All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another ever so slightly late and hopefully not laggy Thursday. It seems like it was wanting to give me a little bit of the same trouble it was giving me last week. I reset everything again, which is why it was a little late, just to try to remedy that completely. But we'll see. We're gonna play some Warcrow today. In theory, I'm not gonna lie, I get real caught up in the minutia of trying to do everything correct, and to be honest, it's just not worth the headache. I'm gonna do stuff wrong, and it is a lot to try to remember how to play all these different games when you're just playing yourself. So I'm just gonna play the game as it is. I'm sure there will be mistakes, and that's just gonna be the way that it is. Sorry if that bugs you, but I get almost kind of like stressed out about getting stuff incorrect to the point where it would just make me not want to play it to begin with. So if I get stuff wrong, I apologize. We will start. Of course, somebody's over here wanting to make a bunch of noise all of a sudden. She's been laying this whole time. We did get the channel baby partnered, so we have fan-funded monetization available. Because of the type of content that I do, I don't really have a whole lot of things to offer in the realm of memberships. And I don't expect anybody to contribute in that way. But I thought about enabling the memberships just for like a tier 1, just a one thing for like $5 a month or something. And we could maybe do votes on kind of the type of games that we play on Thursdays. And then maybe I thought something that could be interesting for some of you is doing like a members only stream for when I set up the tables. So like on Wednesdays or whatever, when I come down here and kind of clear out the table and work out kind of what the terrain and everything's going to be for whatever it is we're doing that following day, which is typically how I end up doing it. I thought maybe that could be interesting, kind of like a chatting setup stream. If you have any thoughts or ideas as far as membership goes, even if you don't intend to contribute, just if you have thoughts or ideas, I'd like to hear them. And same with any other things aside from just that stream idea. I don't think it's really worth me doing multiple tiers of subs right now. As far as the membership goes, probably just a one tier thing. We obviously, because of that, do have donations and super chats and stuff available. Go over here running into cameras and stuff. So we do have donations and stuff available now through YouTube, which is nice. Again, I don't expect anybody to do that stuff, but it is available now. Thanks to you guys and watching and supporting and doing all that good stuff. And with that being said, if you do enjoy this type of stuff, liking it, commenting on it, interacting with it, chatting, subscribing, all of that stuff helps a ton. And it doesn't cost you anything. I wouldn't mind if you did those things. We are very close to 700 subs. And with 700, we might as well be close to 1,000. That's something. For those who maybe just like to keep up to date with things, I am still slowly picking away at the Marvel Crisis minis. I've got Black Widow finished, Cap you've already seen, and then I painted Iron Man yesterday. So slowly chipping away at that. I just don't have a whole lot of inspiration in that regard. Like I really wanted to paint that Captain America. And then I kind of got an idea of how to do Iron Man, so I did that, but that is not what we're here for today. We are here for Warcrow. And I still kind of want to get the Warcrow adventure stuff for the Yaldabaya faction, but I think I want to wait until I could play this with Justin or whoever is willing to do so, to maybe see if it has a little bit more validity in why I would purchase something. But we'll just have to see. I also have a feeling, because this dog, for whatever reason today, is being way more nosy than usual, that she's going to knock over one of these cameras. So, hope that doesn't happen. Anyways, I do have some other stuff to talk about. We'll talk about it in a little bit in regards to Halo Flashpoint and some information we got about that. So I'm optimistic, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll go ahead and get the ball rolling on this. We're running the same sets that we did before. So both Winds from the North boxes and both sides of the Beyond Winds from the North. So Alborg, Orc Hunters with Wise Mane attached, Evoker, Nord, and Skin Changers. And then we have Drago, Bucklerman, Frostfire Herald, Talia, War Surgeon, and the Pioneers. We're playing Take Positions today. I'm just trying one of the other mission types. We're not doing any events or anything like that, which, again, maybe I don't understand what I'm reading in this rules book, but I hope that they introduce a, like, just kind of like a list of events you could include. Because the Snowstorm, I like something like kind of that simple that happens every so often, but I would like some other options. Or like a book that is more of a large scale narrative campaign or something would be nice, but I'm sure that stuff will come in time. So we just have 4 objectives on the field. I guess I put these backwards. Let me swap over here. So we've got objective, objective, and then mirrored on the other side, objective, and you can kind of see it right there. So it's basically just a square thing. And then right in the middle, we have our big mead hall, which we're not playing the insides, but theoretically, I'm not going to actually unclip that. You could play the insides of this. You could play the insides of all this terrain. I had somebody ask last week about this terrain. This is Battle Systems terrain. There's a video on the channel going over specifically this stuff here, and I've looked into getting some more of it potentially for some other things because it's handy, it's useful, it's not super expensive. Go lay down. Okay, or sit right under me. Sorry, dogs meandering about. I do have this blocked off to a 3-foot board, and both teams are just kind of deployed along either side. I didn't really put too much stock into where I was kind of deploying them, other than we'll probably have the Orc Hunters and the Bucklermen fight it out somewhere over here because they're kind of looking at each other. So that's the deal there. I'm just going to roll a yellow and an orange for each side. And we'll see. This is basically going to decide who gets to go second, because I think going first is the worser of the 2 options. This is also played over 3 rounds of 5 turns. And there's some varying things we'll deal with at the end of these rounds as far as scoring. Pretty straightforward. This is one of the more simple looking scenarios, I guess, which again is why I would appreciate maybe some more events to spice it up, because there's not really a good way to mesh the narrative campaign of Winds from the North into a full-scale thing, I don't think, but we'll see. Okay, so this is me. 1 hit. We'll just call it 2 hits. This is them. 1 hit. Okay, so I've got more hit symbols, so they're going to go first. Now, again, I'm 1 person. This is a 3-foot table, so I'm going to have to walk back and forth. Let's just go ahead and go with our Bucklermen. We will probably just double move, I think. This should be fine once I get them moving at least. So they have a 3/3 move, and put them all the way up the field on this objective. You know what would be neat is some... Oh, that's loud. Some wireless... digital things that I could put on these objectives and then control them on something over here to dictate what color they are. And I spread these all out. That should give me somewhat of enough of a thing to keep track of this. I'll just plop that guy there. Okay. So now it's the orc's turn. And we are gonna go with someone on the field. Joking aside, what about our evokers down here? Nord. Once per round at the end of the activation of an allied unit, orc activate an allied rank and vice versa. And it can only perform one action. It cannot be a long action, and it does not receive stress from an activation token. So I was going to see about maybe going with Al Bork, but he seems like he might be a little bit more valuable to go with later after I've moved with someone else. Although 3/2 10 charge, 4/3 10 charge. I'm going to go ahead and go with Nord, because maybe he can get into range enough to do something to somebody if I can play that correct. So we're going to go ahead and go with Nord. He's got a 4/3 move. 4. Kind of see him. 3. 4. 3. Although I don't guess I'll probably be able to charge. No, that's just... Oh, yep, charge is a long action. Okay, so probably not going to do me any good there, but whatever. Okay, going into turn 2. Back to them. Let's go with... go with our Frostfire Herald. He's got a 4/3 move. And I'll probably be able to see him there. Once I move him out from behind this building, that is. And I'm not going to be able to get in range, so we're just going to go ahead and... we're actually not going to go toward that objective right away. So he's just going to move up. Ironically, you can't see him because he's right behind this tower down on the ground. And there you go. You can see him up there. So I was thinking maybe I'd be able to get in range, but I was not, unfortunately. So he's just kind of there. I think I'm going to try to take him to that fence, maybe to throw off some offense on somebody. Back to me. Let's go with our hunters. They've got a 3/2 move. This guy is my lead. Gonna double move. And range to grab this. Nope. Go ahead. Bring everybody along. Now, I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to play it like Legion rules, where the lead is the lead, and then as far as wounds go, I'm going to play Wisebane as like a heavy option. So as wounds go out, he will take the damage before the lead does. Now, it's, I guess, a little confusing about that is that he has 3 wounds, but then it doesn't really say when he's added on what his wound count is. So I'm assuming he just loses an HP and becomes kind of like an Orc Hunter, but he's like a fancy Orc Hunter, so he's still going to have 2 wounds, I assume. That's what we're going to do. But he'll die, I guess, 4th, and then the lead guy will die. That's what I'm going to go with. 2 and 2, so we're going into 3 of round 1. Go. So I'll be able to go with everybody on my side once. They're going to have 1 short because it's 5 activations to 6. So somebody's going to get the no one left behind rule. I think that should probably be arranged. So let's go ahead and go with the War Surgeon because I feel like they're probably going to be needed here soon. We are just going to essentially run them up the field because they have a kind of a passive healing radius. During the no one gets left behind step, allies that are within 5 strides at any moment heal 1 damage. So now going forward, I could kind of ignore them and use the no one gets left behind rule on them and potentially get some healing in the area. So War Surgeon, Frostfire. Okay. Let's go ahead and go. Also, my skin changers, they're passive. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Polar Bear again. So they're going to have a 3/3 move instead of a 4/3 move, but they'll get 1 extra wound. So I'll trade a little bit of speed for a little bit more durability. And they're right here behind this tree. Now, I think three. I'll probably just double move. Just gonna kind of get up behind this building in preparation for something to come. Okay, going into turn 4. Let's go with our Pioneers. And I don't think they really have anything to speak of, so we'll probably just be double moving them up into the fight, probably to try to get that objective there. So, Pioneers have a 2/3 move. Run those fellas up. Now, I don't know what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. Apparently, doesn't matter. We got 4 and my 4th. I'm going to have 1 more activation. I'm going to have a morale of 2 with my hunters. I kind of want to go with the hunters and try to push them. They've got a charge 10, which I'm not quite in range of. I do have a conquest value of 2. Let's just go with Albork, I suppose. Oh, right. And he's got a 3-2 move as well. 3, 2, 3. Okay, so he's just kind of clustered up here. So that is round 4 going into turn 5 of round 1. And it's over to them. So I've got both ranged people, which you could kind of see Talia over there. Drago is at the other end of this building. Now we've got a 2-3 and a 3-3. And Talia's got a much longer range of 15, but I still don't think I'm going to be able to get in range. But it makes the most sense for me to go with her, I think, to try to do so. So let's take this. Got a range of 15 and a 3-3 move. That's for that. I think I muted, hopefully. Otherwise, I just sneezed. Okay, so 3. 3. And not even close. Okay, so we're just going to double move. Over into this region. Now. Oh, no, you can see that. We're good. Let's see. The only person that hasn't gone is the Evoker on my side, but I still kind of want to get ahead of the curve on these Orc Hunters here. They've got a 3-2 move, which actually might put me in range. I'm going to try to assault, move until engaging, resolve a melee attack. So I think I should be able to double move into them, and because I get into melee, that should trigger an attack. I just won't get the charge bonus. That's what we're going to go with, I think. So I'm going to stress these poor guys. 3, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Definitely close enough. Just bring all these people up right into a big fight. So that is going to give us a red, 3 orange, a yellow, and then the wise main adds just 1 regular hit. We'll get a guaranteed hit from him. And if we stress, we could get some extra stuff, but we are not / cannot do that. So here we go. That is not great. So he's got Voice of Experience, so I can spend a command token to fix the dice result of one of my things, and I'm absolutely going to need more damage than that to get through anything. This does give me the vulnerable state. Take a 2-hit on this at all? Guess so. Yeah, not great. I'm kind of just stuck with that. 3 hits in a vulnerable state, so I'm not going to do that because I don't really want to just add 1 hit. I don't think it's super valuable. Now, if I had red dice, I could upgrade that to like a double, I believe. Yeah. So that could be something, but we're just going to have the vulnerable state on them. So when I attack them again, at least that'll help. But their defense is 2 greens and a black. Yeah, that's 4 saves, so no damage. And nobody's getting pushed or anything, I don't believe. So that is the end of round 1. And let's see. In this case, I would have, where are we? +2, there 2. So right now that objective would be neutral. Well, I guess no, it doesn't neutralize in this game. You just have to overtake it. So never mind. I was gonna say I could spend a command point from Drago's skills to boost their thing to make sure they keep that objective, but I don't actually think I need to do that. So we just all have our own objectives. Let's go ahead and do no one gets left behind. The evoker. We're just gonna hop up here with its 1 move, and then Drago's got a 2/3. Which, for those of you who don't know, Drago is kind of a tank in melee combat. He will mess you up. Anyways, so the scoring for this: 1 victory point for each objective you control with your opponent's color, and 1 VP if your opponent doesn't control any of the objectives of your color. So in this case, we both just have our own objectives, so we're both just going to have 1 victory point. So that's exciting stuff. This might... no, I'm not going to say anything. We'll see where it goes. Let me get rid of these activations. I also don't know if it is entirely accurate, but I'm also going to be removing 1 stress. I don't remember. I feel like I vaguely remember that being a thing. So we're going to remove 1 stress from anybody who has it at the end of this round. The score is 1-1 going into turn 1, round 2 of 3. So now things may be getting a little interesting. I think we're going to go with the Herald first. And he has, what does he have? Okay, so he's going to have to do a little bit of running. We'll go with this camera. Or gonna hop over this fence. So his spell has a range of 7, which we are out of, but we are within the extended range. So we're gonna have to modify that. And just because we'll go all out. So we're gonna go Fire Blaze with 2 modifiers. So we've got 3 orange and 2 blacks. And I know we went over this last week, but okay, so we don't want hollow shields. Here we go. do a spell check. Ooh. So that is a whole lot of tinge. Well, one tinge and a failure, but I don't know if because we also rolled a hollow. Oh, no, it's a hollow hit. Okay. So they're going to get one tinge, and that spell is not successful. So they bargained and did not succeed. That's terrible. So that is very lucky for me. So he ran up there thinking he was going to do something, and he just absolutely didn't. So now it is my turn. And honestly, I think, just because that was so rude, that we should go with Nord and go after him. We've got a charge of 10. Oh no, we are within 10. Okay. So we're going to charge and melee this little fella. Okay. So we don't need to do anything because we are in range 10. We're going to charge and attack. So that gives us 2 red, an orange, and a yellow. And we're going to stress, because if we do any amount of damage, we give them frightened and reduce our stress by 1. So it's worth a gamble. So he's got 1 stress, and that gives us a solid of each. And then our attack pool is 2 reds, an orange, and a yellow. Here we go. That's not great. This will cancel a save, and then because we are an elite unit, and that we have a total of 4 exclamation points that are solids, we will cancel 2 saves. So that's pretty good. His defense is only a blue and a black. That do anything for him? No, it does not. So he's got 2 saves. He's going to have those 2 saves canceled through switches. That leaves 3 damage. He only has 2 wounds. So he is gone. And because we dealt damage, that gets rid of our 1 stress. Mage is kaput. Which, you know, that was a gamble. He could have taken him out, potentially. But he whiffed. So, and I think, is there a reposition rule after melee? I believe there is. Let's see. Let me see if I can Sue. I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe somebody knows. I'm probably going to do it anyways. I think if you defeat an enemy unit, that you can perform a free move. I don't know if that is true. And I'm not seeing anything just at a quick glance on that page. And I don't know if it's a full move. Surely it's not a full move, because that seems a bit crazy. But I'll use the first number, which does give me a 4 movement. So I don't know if that's the case. But we're also going to do the Warg and the Crow from Alborg, which, after the allied, at the end of the activation of an allied orc, activate an allied unit rank and vice versa. This unit can only perform 1 action, and it can't take a long action, and it doesn't receive any stress. So that's once per round. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Why not? And we will move Oh, well, we don't actually have to move Albork. It could be an allied orc. So we could go with the hunters and attack, which we shall do. Actually, that makes more sense. I was going to move Albork, but we are already engaged. We might as well go ahead and attack with these guys. So that is going to be a red, 3 orange, and a yellow. And this is just a standard attack, so we're not getting any charge or any benefits there. And then with Wise Mane, you get 1 guaranteed. So, whoop. Again, that's not fantastic, but they are vulnerable. Again, I don't really see a huge value in spending a point to upgrade a hit, so we're just going to go with what that is, and I don't think they get any switches from that. Nope. So their defense is 2 green, black, 3 saves, so they'll take a damage. And what is vulnerable? Cancel 1 die from its defense rolls, in which it's rolled at least a shield. So we can get rid of 1 of these. They are going to stay vulnerable because we still have 2 switches. So they're going to take 2 damage and stay vulnerable, which I believe is a dead bucklerman. Yes, it is. We'll get rid of this fella. I considered repainting my bucklerman to be like silver and gold, like more traditional fantasy, I guess. But man, that felt like a lot of work, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so that is the end of Nord's activation. That is actually a pretty useful tool. I always just kind of thought about using it to move, but they're already engaged, so they could just do a short melee attack action. All right. Actually going to go just 1 to 5 3 times, so that's easier to keep track in my head. So it's back to them. Harold is dead. Let's go with the Pioneers. We'll go with the Pioneers. Why not? And we're gonna charge, which we're way in range 8. So we're just gonna charge this little fella. And our attack is a red, 2 orange, and a yellow. It's not a great attack pool, to be honest with you. I kind of like the idea. Oh. Just kidding. Their pool, that's a ranged attack. So. Yeah. So our melee pool is 3 orange and a yellow. That's not great, but they did get a lot of solids, which is going to help them. Actually, no, yeah. Oh, that'll still help. All right. The Nord's defense is a green and 2 blues. That's unfortunate. And he doesn't have any defensive switches. So he's only going to have 1 save. But because of the Pioneers, they're going to push through 2 switches, 2 solids. We can shove him range 3. And then we still have 2 solids left over. And if we've already done that, we could do it again and cancel a save. So he's still going to take 2 damage. Which I think he might actually have something. Yeah, we'll do that. So he's got Tattoo of the Blood Eagle. We could spend a command point and roll 2 orange dice and ignore wounds for each hit. So he is elite. So that is, I guess. Well, I don't know. It does specify, or it shows a solid symbol, but I don't know if that is just for clarity's sake. I don't see any hollow things on here. So I'm going to assume that's just for clarity's sake. So he's going to save both of those. So he's not going to take any damage, but he is going to get shoved. And do they follow? Yes. I'm going to say they don't follow. Now, because shove is part of the thing, I don't know how that would work since they... I don't know. I guess they technically didn't win combat. Nothing happened, so... We're just going to leave that as is. That's probably wrong in some way, but whatever. Okay, my second turn. Let's go. Albork. I don't love the Evoker. I really don't. I wish we had a cooler Orc Mage, because I just... More of an offensive Orc Mage would be cooler, because I just don't enjoy the Evoker the way that it is. Let's go. We're going to stress... We're going to stress with Nord, and we're going to go with him again. And we are going to charge back into these guys. And that... They're not going to stress on attack, I don't think. Yeah. So we're just going to have 2 reds, an orange, and a yellow. That is a great roll. And that's going to give us 2 solids, which is going to give us 1 save, like shield block. Their save is 1 green and 1 black, so... Ooh. They don't have any defensive switches, so that doesn't even matter. I didn't even notice he has a switch for hollow hits or just deal damage you save them. I guess that's kind of neat. That's what? Damage. So they have 3 wounds apiece. So that is going to be 1 dead pioneer and 1 health remaining on the other one. They lost combat, so they are going to be stressed. And we're going to push them and follow them. Okay. So Nord's just very vengeful. Anybody who comes at him, he's just going to come back at them more aggressive. And because I dealt damage, we remove the stress from him. So he seems rather strong, which is nice. Okay, we're going into turn 3 of round 2. And we are going to go with Talia, I think, because we need to get rid of Nord on this side of the field, or we're going to have a bit of a problem. And we're just going to shoot once per round. Enemy unit within 15 strides, make a ranged attack against target applying aim. If there's a character inside, you may suffer 1 stress to make them your target. The damage taken will only be theirs. Place it on their profile, not the unit's. Target suffers stress. And the target suffers stress if it suffers any kind of damage. The stress and the frightened state, all the unit receives. Okay. So this is her skill, which is once per round, so we might as well. It's called Headshot. So it's going to give us aim, which is what? All the things I would mark, and I didn't mark keywords, which is just silly. Your unit can reroll its ranged attack rolls. The target unit of your ranged attack cannot benefit from cover. Your unit can reroll its ranged attack rolls. Okay, a little confusing. I'm going to assume that that's kind of like aim is like a charge roll for a melee character. So her ranged attack is going to be a red and 2 yellows. It gets a guaranteed hit. And I might as well stress. Which I'm a little confused because in the skill it says you may suffer 1 stress to make them your target, which that doesn't matter. So I actually don't think I need that. But if I do any damage, they're going to get... Nord's going to get a stress and frightened state, I think. And I don't have to stress to get that. I think that's part of the skill. I could be wrong. But I'm going to stress for the extra yellow dice. So here we go. Okay, this is good. She didn't get any hollow exclamation points. She is elite. And those solids don't really do anything because I'm going to get frightened anyways from the headshot skill. So that would help if I didn't have that thing. But so we've got 4, 5 hits. That's a little rough, but she doesn't have any hollow exclamation points, so she can't cancel my saves. And we got a green and 2 blues for saves. Here we go. Yikes. That is not good. And I don't think I can do anything really about that. So that is 1 save. And he is dead. So, headshot indeed. Absolutely just took him out. Because he has 4 wounds. Took 4 wounds. Now he's dead. Okay. And I didn't notice at the time, Nord has a thing of 1. The Pioneers have a thing of 1, but when one of them has died, they have no conquest value, which means this guy would actually be mine currently, because she's not close enough to contest it. So I've got to go with my 3rd fella. I need like a death token that I could put on their cards. So I kind of need to get some contesting going on that side of the field, I think. Let's go with the skin changers. And we are going to try to get toward... I think I'm going to make it, but... Well, I can't make it to her, but I can make it to him. And I might as well, just for the sake of getting a free combat out of the mix. Couldn't quite close the gap to Talia, which is who I wanted to go for, but that's okay. So I've got a red, 3 orange, and a yellow. And I guess technically that would be a assault move until engage, and then when you engage, you get a free combat, I think. I just don't get the charge reroll. 3 hits. Hollow exclamation points also inflict damage, and the solids do nothing. So I have a total of 4 damage, only 3 are defendable. The Pioneers with 1 just gets 1 blue dice. Absolutely nothing, so they're dead. And I guess theoretically I didn't actually need to roll that because they only had 1 wound left anyways. And that 1 guaranteed damage would have taken them out. And now again, I think because I have defeated a unit, I could move, which I could absolutely move enough to get into range over here. Okay, turn 4, round 2. Their turn. Let's go ahead and go with our bucklermen. See if we can't get a little bit of momentum going. So obviously they're going to attack the hunters. They've got a pool of 1 red, 3 oranges. And they don't have any stress or anything available to them. That is a pretty good roll. They don't have... Oh, that's tough, actually. So solid or hollows give them shields. So what am I rolling? Sounds like thunder outside. I'm gonna be rolling a green and 2 blacks. So this will work. Oh, well, that'll work even better. So those hollows give them saves, and they've got 4 damage. So this is terrible. They're supposed to be defensive, not offensive, and the orcs are supposed to be offensive, not defensive. And this is absolutely flipped on its head, so that's terrible. But the orc hunters, we're going to be rolling a green, 2 blacks, and then the wise main is going to give a guaranteed save. And I could stress to add a red dice to my defense roll to try to get some damage back on them. But because they have 2 saves, it's not really worth it, I don't think. So... although, if I do that, extra damage could potentially give me some more saves. Whatever. 2 solids is going to give them vulnerable, which they already are. And I don't think that hollow benefits me at all, as he is not elite or anything. I think that is just going to be 2 damage, which I believe is 1 dead fella. It is. Take this one. And they're going to get pushed. Oh, Annie, I see how it is. Is that a sticker? What is that? First super on live stream. Now I'm going to have to figure out how to receive that $5. Thank you. Is that a sticker or just a super chat? Looks like a sticker. Push these guys back and follow. What a weird system that is. Encoding overloaded. Oh no. Is that because I've stayed on that camera angle for too long, especially when nothing was going on it? Yeah, the sticker system is really, really strange to me. Of all the things they could have gone with, like, do people... Dude. Like, do people want to pay money to, like, donate a sticker? I don't know. It just seems so strange. I don't know. But it does stay at the top of the chat. It's kind of interesting. And I think I can go to viewer activity over here, and I can see that. Cool. Well, thank you. And because they lost some combat, we are going to get a stress. Okay, so it's my turn on turn 4. I'm going to go with Al Bork because I think they... No. So I'm going to have to do a regular assault, so I'm not going to get a charge bonus. But 3, 2... Yeah, I could definitely get in range, so I'm just going to... The Bucklerman. Oh, dang, now you're just making it rain. Now I'm extra going to have to figure out how that is. But it is interesting, actually, that just overwrote your previous one at the top of the chat. Interesting. Okay, how do I get it to go away? There we go. I also think I need to look actually into it. I think I can maybe make that show up on screen instead of just in chat. But let's be honest, I didn't think I really needed to do that currently, but now I'm going to have to figure that out just in case. Well, that makes one of you. Thank you. Let's... So we're not going to get any charge bonuses, but we are going to attack. 1 red, 2 orange, and a black. I don't know who told Nero, but somebody told Nero that me and him need to play Split. I think it's Split Fiction on his stream. Which, if any of y'all want to watch gameplay stuff, Nero Deadshot on Twitch. I stream with him on the weekends. On occasion, we'll play stuff. So, if you want more of me, there's more of me over there, and then he just does game stuff throughout the week. But Split Fiction, somebody told him that we should play that. It's a co-op kind of puzzle game, but like you're playing almost split screen, so like I could see his gameplay and my gameplay simultaneously, even though he's across the country. But it looks kind of interesting. And I guess if he buys the game, he can like gift it to me since it's like a co-op kind of thing. So I don't know. Looks kind of interesting. Maybe we'll do that. He told me I should stream it, so we'll see about that. My attack pool, 1 red, 2 orange, a guaranteed hit. I am also going to stress this to gain a... That's not what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. A hollow and a solid. All right, here we go. So that is 4 hits because he's elite. So the hollow hits could give me some stress. I could really stress them now because I've got 2 hollows, so I could technically get an extra 2 on them. A hollow exclamation point, which I don't have, and 2 solids. Cancel a blank and add a... Okay, that's good. So I have 1 wasted thing here, but 2 solid exclamation points gives me a canceled save from them and a added hit. And they're going to get 2 stress from those hollows. And they're vulnerable, so they're going to get 2 of these saves blocked. So this could be huge. The hollow doesn't do anything for them, but the solids do. So they have 3 saves. So we'll just get rid of 2 of these. So they're going to have 1 save from switches. So that is 4 damage. 2 stress, and a 3rd stress because they lost combat. So they're going to be 3 stress and 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, which is going to be 2 dead bucklermen. So that last guy is he's feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. Okay. Let's clear this. And I guess because I won combat, actually, push this guy back and follow. And Alborg doesn't have any conquest value, so I can't do anything with that objective. But the Bucklerman only has 1 conquest value now. So if I could get my hunters in range, I could take that objective by the end of this, so it might be worth stressing them and trying to get that. We'll see. Because we are going into the last turn of this round now. Yep, 4 and 4. Okay. So I think we're going to go with Drago and try to slow Alborg's roll a little. He's got a range of 8, which I don't know if I can get in range of. Oh, yeah. He's got a range of 8 and a charge of 8. Yeah, we should be able to get in range to shoot, but we definitely can't charge. So we'll move and shoot, I guess. He's certainly more, although, should we double move? No, we're going to move and shoot. He's got a 2-3 move. One move. 2 move. Definitely in range. Okay. So he's going to shoot. Move and shoot. Yeah, he's going to have 1 yellow dice and 1 guaranteed hit. So 1 guaranteed hit, 1 yellow dice. He is elite. He doesn't have any offensive switches, so he's just got 2 hits on Alborg. And his defense is 2 blues and a black. And because he doesn't have any saves, well, no, he's already stressed. We'll just roll this. He's got 2 saves and no defensive switches, so no damage, no nothing happens there. And my last activation, I think the hunters, I would have a total of 2 conquests, but Drago's still there. He's definitely in range. And he could boost up the Black Legion Bucklerman, even though there's only 1 left, to add its conquest value to 2. So it could have a total of 4. I can't match that. So I just need to keep on the offense, I suppose. So I think quite in range to charge. I don't really want to stress them again because that's gonna put them not great. We're gonna stress the skin changers because I don't want to go with the evoker because I feel like that ship has sailed at this point. So we're gonna stress the skin changers. They're not in danger; they'll be just fine. And we're gonna go with them again on Telia, and that is a red, 3 orange, and a yellow. There we go. Well, oh, you can see that. That is a good roll. So hollow exclamation points is guaranteed damage, nothing for the solids. So this dice doesn't do anything for us. But that is still a good pool. Absolutely. Elia, roll. 2 blues and a black. She has no defensive switches to speak of. And she's going to save 1, and then she's going to take 2, 3, 4, plus 5 for that hollow. So she might actually be dead. Oh, yeah, she's extra dead. So it seems like the Varank are pretty strong. And again, because they have killed somebody, carry that momentum down the field a little. So this is looking rather orc-sided, which is great, because that's who I am, technically. Okay, so that's the end of the thing. Let's go ahead and do our nobody left behind rule. 3, 2, so this useless evoker is just gonna come slinking out. The war surgeon, who's the only person that did not go for them. Anybody within 5 strides heals 1 damage. Now, the only people in range is the Bucklermen. And maybe I didn't count correctly, or maybe it had exactly enough damage to kill the 2 of them, although I think it was 5, which means this guy would have 1 wound. I don't remember. But technically, if they heal 1 wound, they're going to get a guy back. I don't know if that works this way in this game, but that's what we're doing. So, and they're within 5, so yeah, they're good. Okay. So, let me... Dead. Okay. So, we're going into the last round. And points, they don't score anything because I have one of their objectives. And then I score a point for controlling 1 VP for each objective you control with your opponent's color. Okay, so that's 1 point for me. And 1 VP if your opponent doesn't control any of your objectives, which they do not. And I have 1 of theirs, so I'm going to get 2. That's going to take me up to 3. And they will not get anything because they do not meet any of those requirements. So. Here we go. Clear these activation tokens. Everybody's going to lose stress. Okay. So they've got very limited options. I'm going to go with Drago off rip. And we're going to charge because we are absolutely in range. And he is potent in melee. So we are going to charge. And that is 2 reds, 2 yellows, and a green. Reds, 2 yellows, a green. We might as well stress. That's going to give us a solid. And so we got 4 hits and a bunch of solids. Solids for him. Going to give me vulnerable state, which isn't going to help me down the road. Okay. So Albork, I have 2 blues and a black. I could stress to add a red dice and a hit. Might not be a bad idea, so I'm going to do it. That's going to give me a red dice and 1 guaranteed hit. He doesn't have any defensive switches. He's got 2 saves, 2 damage. He's going to take 1 damage. And then I'm going to block 2, which leaves me with 3. And he has a total of 5. And that is going to give me another stress. Boop. And he's going to push and probably not follow. He's gonna stay put, I think. Although, no, we'll just stay. So, all right. That's not great. My turn. I think we go with him. Yeah, this could work, maybe. The skin changers have a range of 10, which I'm not quite in range of. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go with Albork. We're going to charge back. We're going to charge back at Drago, because I think he is the biggest threat. We're not going to stress or do anything. We're just going to go with a plain old actually might need to do this in a different order. My goal is to use his once per round team up to get a little bit more value. So I'm actually not going to do that. We will just go with our hunters right now. And I think we're going to charge. One big cluster. That's going to give us a guaranteed hit from Wisemane. We still have 3 hunters, so we're still going to have our full attack pool. Here we go. And this is going to be on Drago, I guess. Okay. Drago's got a defense of 2 blues and 1 guaranteed save. So none of that. We do have 2 of that. And he's going to be vulnerable, but may or may not matter. We'll see. 2 saves. That still leaves us with 2 damage. So 2 damage and a vulnerable. Yeah, he's going to have 1 HP left. He is going to get an 1 additional stress. Now he's vulnerable. And we're going to push. We are going. Okay, back to them. We could go with the war surgeon. We are gonna go with the war surgeon. And we are just going to use the skill, reduce the target's stress. Reduce by 1 the target's stress. This is going to go down to 1. And then roll a red and an orange, and you may heal hits from the target, essentially. So 1 red, 1 orange. Well, I only got 1. So that's going to take him back to 2 damage. And if it was a solid exclamation point, we could reduce another stress, but that's all. So that worked out pretty well for me. And we're kind of all engaged, I guess. So I guess I could roll my 2 orange dice on the hunters, just out of curiosity. Wow, 2 hits, okay. Hunters get a guaranteed save, and a green and 2 blacks. So we save both, and nothing else to speak of. Although, I just realized that the orc hunters have a switch for their shields. That I guess for every shield I roll, I add damage. So I guess the war surgeon would take 2 damage. Is that correct? Or is that like I could trade them off instead of them being shields? They could be damage instead. So I could sacrifice a guy to basically kill off the war surgeon. I don't know. I understand them as being like they still do what they're designed to do. I could be wrong. So I'm just gonna play it to my advantage because it's my game. So they tried and they failed, and now they die for it. The war surgeon switches. Did 2 damage, which is just enough to kill war surgeon. Okay. All right, let's go with the skin changers. No. What just happened? Oh, I didn't mark it. There we go. Yeah, skin changers. We got a 4-3 move and a 10 charge, which I don't believe. Nope. I would like to try to close in on the buckler men. We'll see if we can't assault them. Or oh yeah, 4-3 right into the back. And we still have both people, so we're gonna get a red, 3 orange, and a yellow. That is decent. I would have liked some hollow exclamation points, but whatever. 2 buckler men are gonna get 2 blues. Hollow exclamation points adds. Oh no, it has to be solids. So they just get 1 save. That is 3 damage, which is gonna leave. Actually, that is enough to kill them because that guy would have been back up with 1 HP. So that is both of these guys dead. So now I'm going to kick in the Albork passive thing to spend another point. To do a move, which is just going to be to move, I suppose. Maybe kind of like up here somewhere. So it's just down to Drago, and he's going to have to stress to go again. We are now in turn 3, round 5, which I think we all know how this is going at this point. But he's at least going to go out swinging. We are going to go... I guess we have to go on the Hunters, which is kind of a lost cause for him at this point, but whatever. 2 reds, 2 yellows, and a green. Actually, a good amount of damage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my Hunters... Oh, no, that was Albork. And my Hunters are rolling green and 2 black. Don't... Oh, and I get 1 guaranteed save from Wise Mane. That really matters. So that's going to give me 2 saves. And I guess technically 2 damage on him. Actually will kill him. But I'm also going to take 3 damage, so that's going to be another dead fella. And damage. But Drago, I believe, is put. Which we don't need to play out the rest of the rounds because they're all dead. So that's handy. It was all kind of, which, to be fair, I said it at the start, but kind of ended up just being a fight over this objective. Granted, I got lucky with the Herald's failure of a spell over here that could have taken Nord out, and that allowed him to basically obliterate the Herald and weaken the Pioneers. The Skin Changers also came in with some strong rolls. The Varank seemed pretty strong. So that's something. Yeah, this side of the field ended up just completely clean. Which, again, if you're interested in this terrain, there's a video on it on the channel with battle systems terrain. It's pretty good stuff. I wouldn't mind having some more of it. But that is a orc victory for today. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about before we wrap this up is we finally have a confirmation date for Halo Flashpoint Wave 2. And that is March 20th. So, what are we doing? With that wave is going to be the Wargames expansion and some other boxes. Depending on when I get it, or how quickly I get it, rather, I might do a little bit of an unboxing. And we do it sitting here at the table. Just to showcase what exactly comes in it. They did do a video showcase. So we do finally have some details as to what comes in that box. But all this yammering to say, hopefully part of my gripe, I guess, with Flashpoint will be remedied with the Wargames expansion, hopefully, because part of what they're doing is putting points values on the people, which I knew they were doing, but they're going a little bit further than that and making your guys customizable. So like right now, the base Flashpoint cards for Halo are like, you get a guy, he has this gun, he has a grenade and whatever. And they're making it kind of where you build out your guy. So you pick based on the points. If you want your guy to start with a grenade and maybe some extra ammo types or something like that. So hopefully where I have kind of like a lack of flavor, there'll be a little bit more flavor coming from that because you could build out your guys. But that is also specifically to balance, like you could have a guy start with an energy sword. So you could take like 4 heavy weapon equipped guys, or you could take like a squad of kitted out equipment people, which does fit more into like maybe an ODST style of thing. We'll see. It's interesting. I'm hoping it does what I want it to for Flashpoint, because I feel like Flashpoint is missing a little bit of its specific flavor. It's there a little bit, but it needs a little bit more. I think they could lean more into that instead of giving us a bunch of Spartan teams by giving us like a brute squad, an elite squad, a grunt squad, an ODST squad, like actually thematically different squads to play with that would have their own themes, I guess. But, you know, we'll get there eventually, perhaps. Something that is in that pack is the Master Chief card, which I do not have, but I would like. I could print a Galactic Armory model or something, or I could buy the paint set. I'm not really opposed to either. One is certainly cheaper than the other. But we will see how that works out. It's tentative to ship for the 20th, obviously. You know how that goes. It could ship earlier, could ship later. We will see. But that, I believe, is going to do it for today. I'm glad I did this. Not going to lie, I didn't feel like doing it. Work just absolutely sucks the soul out of me. I'm not going to lie. And I was not feeling up to it, and I figured I'm going to do it anyways. I'm glad I did it. So I will see you guys on next Thursday. I'm trying to think. We have an in-service thing at work, which typically runs super long. That might be next Thursday. So we may do this a little bit later, or we may do it on a different day next week. Just keep an eye on the channel. It'll be scheduled when I know. Also, as far as what I was talking about at the beginning, please do let me know some thoughts. I will probably post the membership stuff up on, I don't want to say a particular day, because I want to see if I get any feedback on it for membership ideas. But just let me know, and the memberships will go up at some point soon. Just that they're there in case anybody wants to support. Since I'm a tiny little fella, something like memberships might help in getting stuff like what I was talking about with the paint set. Would just make it easier to justify just picking it up just for channel content. So we'll see. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna get out of here. We will be live on Nero's channel on Twitch, Nero Deadshot. I think we're gonna be playing some World of Warcraft this weekend at some point. And then we'll be back on here sometime next week. All right. I appreciate you guys being here. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys. All right. Bye, guys.
The power of the dark side.